Imagine this, a chart-topping rapper known for her fire, confidence, and unapologetic sensuality walks into the same private club where one of the NBA's most respected stars is quietly nursing a drink. She's laughter and chaos. He's calm and calculated. The two worlds, hip-hop and basketball, colliding under dim lights and louder whispers. That's how fans describe the beginning of what some call the most unexpected pairing of the year, Megan Thee Stallion and Klay Thompson. It's the story of love meeting legacy and passion clashing with poise. Because let's be real, no one saw this one coming. When the first rumors broke, social media lost its mind. Klay and Megan, one fan tweeted, "This man went from Splash Brother to Hot Girl Summer." But underneath the memes and the noise, there was something real brewing, something no one expected. Megan Thee Stallion, real name Megan Pete, had already weathered storms. She'd faced betrayal, public humiliation, and the scrutiny that comes when your life becomes a hashtag. But this time, it wasn't about beef. It wasn't about drama. It was about finding peace in someone completely different from her world. And Klay Thompson, Golden Gate's quiet assassin, the man whose calm presence balances the chaos of the NBA, wasn't known for being flashy off the court. He lived for the ocean, his dog Rocco, and the quiet rhythm of training days. He wasn't the type to chase celebrity headlines, but when he met Megan, all that calm began to shift. Because Megan isn't quiet, she's a storm. And Klay, he might just be the one person who can stand in the eye of it. They were first spotted together after an awards party in Los Angeles. Witnesses say Klay couldn't take his eyes off her. Her confidence was magnetic. Megan laughed easily, her signature charm pulling him out of his comfort zone. A few nights later, they were seen at a Warriors charity event. She wore a fitted gown in deep emerald, and he couldn't hide his smile. The paparazzi flashes told the rest of the story, and from that moment, the world wanted answers. Was it friendship or something more? But as the whispers grew louder, so did the tension. Because for every fan who cheered them on, there were two who said they'd never last. Those comments hurt more than people think. For Megan, who's been constantly judged for her body, her lyrics, and her independence, it was deja vu. She was used to people telling her she wasn't the right kind of woman for respect. And now, even in love, that same question hung in the air. Would she ever be enough for a man who represents the NBA squeaky clean poster boy? But here's what most didn't know. Behind the scenes, Megan wasn't chasing clout. She was chasing calm. After everything, Tory, the trial, the headlines, she wanted something quiet. Someone who wouldn't make her feel like she was constantly fighting for validation. And Klay, he'd been single for a while, focusing on recovery, his career, and rebuilding after injuries. He wasn't looking for a spotlight romance either. He wanted authenticity. And Megan, despite all the noise, was real. Their chemistry was instant but complicated. They came from two entirely different universes. Megan's love language was fire, attention, energy, performance. Klay's was water, steady, calm, predictable. But somehow that combination started to make sense. They started spending quiet nights together. Netflix marathons, private dinners, no posts, no captions. For months, they tried to keep it off the radar. But of course, in Hollywood, secrets are never safe for long. When a fan snapped a picture of Megan courtside at Chase Center, smiling, wearing Klay's jersey, the internet went wild. It wasn't official, but it was close enough. The hashtags were born: Meglay, Hot Girl Hoops, Basketball Wife Energy. But fame has a way of twisting reality. And while fans cheered, others started to dissect every move. Could the glamorous body-positive rapper really fit into Klay's disciplined, corporate-friendly world? Would team sponsors and image consultants approve? Would his brand suffer if his new love didn't fit the mold? Even Klay's teammates reportedly joked about it, some teasing, some supportive, but underlying tension was clear. Megan was a headline magnet, and the NBA doesn't like unpredictability. Meanwhile, Megan's fans worried she might dim her light for him. "Don't change for no man, girl," one follower wrote. "She's a powerhouse. She doesn't need to be somebody's trophy." And maybe that's what made this love story so fascinating. It wasn't just about attraction, It was about identity, about whether two people could love each other without losing themselves. Because in Hollywood, love isn't just emotional, it's political. In a city where image is everything, could Megan and Klay survive being real? Or was their love doomed from the start, caught between the expectations of fame and the reality of who they truly are? It's easy to fall in love under flashing lights. It's harder to stay in love when those same lights won't turn off. For Megan Thee Stallion and Klay Thompson, what started as quiet chemistry quickly turned into a public spectacle. Every glance, every like, every lyric she posted online became proof that something was either blossoming or breaking. Because in the world of fame, privacy isn't just rare, it's a luxury. Headline: Klay's new flame. Is Megan Thee Stallion the next NBA girlfriend? Tweet: hot girl meets Splash brother. This can't end well. The noise was deafening. Klay, used to game day pressure, found himself playing defense in real life. He didn't talk about Megan publicly. He didn't post pictures. That wasn't his way. But silence in celebrity culture is its own story. Paparazzi would ask him after games, "You and Megan still good?" He'd smirk, shake his head, and walk away. That calm demeanor, the same one that made him a champion, now made him look distant. And Megan noticed. She poured her feelings into lyrics. Coded bars about loyalty, fake love, and people who only play defense when it's too late. Fans caught it instantly. Is she talking about Klay, they asked? Because when you're a rapper, your music is your diary, and Megan's pen doesn't lie. Behind the scenes, things were complicated. Megan's world was chaos, studio session, red carpets, brand deals, constant headlights about her body, her lyrics, and her work. Klay's world was structure, morning practices, rehab sessions, film reviews, and a team built on silence and control. Two people are trying to love each other, but moving in opposite rhythms. Still, there were moments that made it all worth it. Like when Klay flew to Houston quietly, no cameras, just to watch Megan rehearse before a show. He sat backstage, cap pulled low, just listening. And when she looked over mid-performance and caught his eye just for a second, it grounded her. He wasn't there for her fame. He was just there for her. But love under pressure bends, even when it doesn't break. And soon the scrutiny started to sting. Rumors began swirling that Klay's team management didn't like the attention. Sponsors worried about image alignment. Megan's music is explicit, one insider said. It doesn't fit the family-friendly NBA brand. Meanwhile, Megan's friends worried she was toning herself down. She doesn't twerk on stage as much as she does in the crowd, one dancer allegedly whispered. It's like she's holding back. And that's the tragedy of love under a microscope. It starts to mold you into what the world thinks you should be. She smiles politely, says nothing, but her eyes, they tell the story. Because silence, again, becomes its own kind of confession. And then comes the photos. A night in San Francisco, Megan and Klay at dinner, looking tense. He's leaning away. She's mid-sentence, eyebrows furrowed. Within hours, the internet had diagnosed their relationship. Trouble in paradise. She's too fiery. He's too cool. It's giving opposites don't attract. But what no one saw was what happened after. They left through a side door, hand in hand, both exhausted. He told her, "I'm not used to this kind of attention." And she replied, "I've been living it my whole life." Two truths colliding, neither wrong, but both painful. Megan had been rebuilding herself since the Tory Lanez ordeal. Trust was fragile, vulnerability was dangerous, and now she was falling for someone who didn't speak her love language, someone who loved quietly while she healed loudly. In interviews, she was glowing. Reporters asked if she was in love. She smiled coyly and said, "I'm just happy right now. I'm surrounding myself with good energy." But fans knew when Megan smiles like that, there's a story behind it. Klay's friend said he was different too, more relaxed, happier, but also distracted because every day his phone buzzed with notifications, fans, blogs, gossip, assumptions. Even his ex Hannah's stocking was pulled into the storm. People comparing, contrasting, stirring. Megan had become the headline, even in spaces that were off limits. And then one moment changed everything. During a Warriors game, Megan was spotted courtside again, this time sitting next to Klay's parents. Twitter exploded. She met the family. This is getting serious. But that same night, an anonymous NBA source leaked a quote suggesting Klay's team was concerned about the optics. The irony. The same league that markets drama suddenly couldn't handle real life. Behind the scenes, Klay confronted the issue. He didn't like people speaking for him. He told close friends, Meg's her own person. She's strong, I respect that. And Megan hearing that felt something she hadn't felt in a while. Protected. For once, someone wasn't trying to change her. They began planning a small getaway, no cameras, no noise, just the two of them somewhere off the grid. A friend later said it was the happiest she'd seen Megan in months. She looked peaceful. They said like she finally exhaled. But the world never sleeps. And when the fame follows you everywhere, peace is never permanent. As soon as they returned to LA, Megan dropped a teaser of a new song. The line that went viral, he shoot his shot, but I'm the one that scored. He shoot his shot, but I'm the one that scored. Fans lost it. Was it about Klay? About basketball? About something deeper? Even Klay laughed when he heard it. Guess I'm part of the lyrics now, he told her. She smiled. Baby, you're part of the story. But behind that smile, there was a shadow, a fear that the more public their love became, the less control they'd have over it. Because every time a couple trends online, someone starts counting down the days until they break up. And Megan knew heartbreak too well to ignore the signs. Fame had taken from her before friends, privacy, and even her peace of mind. Would love be the next thing fame tried to steal from her? They were in love. But love under scrutiny is like glass under pressure. It shines bright until the cracks begin to show. The world pushes harder and the cracks start to widen. Rumors, rivalry, and the price of image threaten to turn love into survival. When you live in the public eye, even the smallest moments feel like headlines. A smile can start a rumor. A silence can end a story. For Megan Thee Stallion and Klay Thompson, the truth hit harder than either of them expected. Because when you're in Hollywood and you date, every move is magnified. And sometimes it's not even the love that breaks, it's the weight of the world watching it. As the months passed, things changed. Megan's career was soaring, a new album, a global tour, endorsement deals. Her star had never burned brighter, but that kind of success comes with sacrifice. Late nights in the studio, international flights, constant press. And for someone like Klay, who thrived on focus and routine, it started to take a toll. He'd call between practices only to hear she was in another city. She'd text between interviews only to find he was already asleep. Love started feeling like a missed connection, the two trains running on parallel tracks, always near but never meeting. Klay escaped to his home by the bay, a quiet sanctuary where he could think. Rocco, his loyal dog, was the only company he had most nights. He'd scroll through the photos of Meg, her laugh, her performances, her fire, and smile. But there was something bittersweet about it because Klay wasn't built for chaos. He admired it in her strength, her resilience, but he didn't know how to live with it. And Megan, she couldn't help but wonder if being with him meant dimming her light just to make him comfortable. They were both trying to love without losing themselves. Then came the rumors. A gossip blog claimed Megan had been too flirty with a fellow artist at a private party in New York. Another outlet said Klay was spotted looking cozy with a model at a Lakers after party. Both stories were unverified, but in Hollywood, truth doesn't matter when drama sells better. Social media went wild again. See, I told you it wouldn't last. Hot girl summer back on. Klay went back to his type. The comments were brutal, dissecting every word, every facial expression, every post. And for two people who built their careers on control of image, control of narrative, it was torture to lose it. She once said in an interview, "You can be strong and still get tired." And that night, she was tired of defending herself, explaining her love, of fighting narratives she never wrote. Klay called her. No PR team, no script, just two voices on opposite sides of the country. "Do you believe this?" she asked softly. "I don't listen to the noise," he replied. "I know who you are." Silence. Then she whispered, "Then that's enough." And for the moment, it was. But silence doesn't stop gossip. The machine kept spinning. Soon, they had to face the question neither wanted to ask. Can love survive fame, fortune, and constant public scrutiny? Their differences, once magnetic, were now magnified. Her life thrived on exposure. His depended on privacy. She spoke her truth through lyrics. He guarded his behind smiles. Yet beneath the surface, there was still tenderness. Friends say when they were together, away from the cameras, it was pure. They'd laugh about the internet conspiracies. They'd cook together, argue over playlists, and just be normal. But normal doesn't sell, drama does. When the Warriors won a crucial game, Megan surprised him appearing courtside again, radiant and unapologetic. She cheered him on, clapped on his shots, and when he looked her way, he smiled. That moment went viral, but not because of the win. It was because of her energy, her pride, her willingness to show up even when the world doubted her place beside him. And that's when people began to soften. Even the critics started saying, maybe they do fit. Maybe opposites do attract for a reason. For months, they kept things private again. No posts, no red carpets, just time, real human time. It wasn't perfect, it was messy, but it was theirs. And in that quiet, they found something rare: balance. Meghan didn't need to shrink to fit into his world. Klay didn't need to hide to protect his. They learned that love doesn't have to be loud to be real. It just has to survive. But every love story in Hollywood carries a question. Mark. As of now, the world still speculates. Are they still together? Are they serious? Will she become a basketball wife? No one really knows, and maybe that's the point, because real loving isn't a press release, it's a choice. And whether they last or not, Meghan and Klay have already done something powerful. They've shown that love doesn't have to fit a mold, that two people from different worlds can find peace, even in chaos. In a city built on performance, they found something genuine. And maybe that's what scares most people, when love refuses to play by the rules. Because in the end, the story of Megan Thee Stallion and Klay Thompson isn't just about fame or image. It's about what happens when two people try to love each other in a world that profits from their pain. It's about resilience. It's about truth. Maybe they'll last. Maybe they won't. But for now, they're proof that even under the harshest lights, real connection still matters. If you like stories about hidden love and celebrities where love, fame, and secrets collide, please subscribe to Shhh, Hollywood Scoop and share this story with others who love a little drama with their truth. Thank you for watching.